Thank you, everybody, for coming. I've heard so many things about what I'm going to say.
We're on to you.
It's amazing. Some of them are even true. Now, I wasn't going to say them before. Reminds me of something I said the other day. We were in a community meeting in Westchester County, New York, and somebody said something about getting too doomy, and I said, "Are you kidding?" Here we are in the Last Chance Saloon, standing on the beach of doom, and the waves are coming in. Brace for impact. So now what? The political response remains the same. The message is somehow we're going to ignore jobs and growth simply to address climate change. Says your president, I won't go for that. And that's understandable, actually, because there are no politically viable approaches to deal with climate change, just as there are no politically viable approaches to deal with peak oil. There's nothing a politician can do. Can you imagine a politician running on the campaign of "We need economic collapse to save our species"? I bet there aren't 10 people in this room who'd vote for that. Just to save our species? See, I saw 3 hands go up right there.
2 years ago in an AGU, I was sitting next to Michael Mann. And to give you an idea, we are worried. There's a reason why I'm here, why we had a whole meeting in AGU for all these climate scientists and other interested environmental scientists to get together and say, what do we do? Because the media is not reporting what we are showing. There are vested interests out there that don't want you to know. The science community is done. We know. There's no doubt there. It's just, if you look in the U.S., the certainty has gone down over the last 2 decades as the science has gotten more and more certain.
By the time the conference was over and the author of Walking Away from Empire had rattled the nerves of everyone, I was determined to do whatever I could to help spread his information, no matter how painful. I believed it was our human right to know we were closer to extinction than we'd ever imagined. I mean, wouldn't you want to know if you had terminal cancer? I mentioned earlier I'd gotten arrested for the first time in my life protesting the tar sands pipeline. It was Bill McKibben, author, journalist, environmentalist, and Harvard grad, who inspired this temporary loss of my faculties. I even joined Bill's Rockefeller-funded 350.org, which perpetrated the myth that we needed to and could reduce in our lifetime our global CO2 levels back to 350 parts per million. This myth was based on an abstract by famed climate scientist James Hansen.
For various reasons, we had estimated a few years ago that the target atmospheric CO2, if we wanted to preserve a planet that looks like the one that has existed during the last 10,000 years, then we had better try to keep CO2 less than 350 parts per million.
The numbers are cooked into the system, and that's according to the refereed journal literature, the gold standard of science. But the myth continues.
Getting back to 350 parts per million will be difficult and take time. By the time we get back to 350, we'll know a lot more, and we'll be able to be specific about what less than 350 parts per million means. By then, we should be measuring Earth's energy balance very accurately.
The question now is, if we can't even trust the environmentalists, who can we trust?
When a medical doctor knows that somebody has cancer and they have weeks or months to live in their professional opinion, it's malpractice if they don't tell that, if they don't reveal that. That's malpractice. Doctors are supposed to give us the facts, the information, and present their informed opinion about when we might reach the end of our days. And so I'm doing that. I think Bill McKibben and James Hansen and a whole bunch of other climate scientists are malpractice. They're guilty of malpractice because they know what I know. Almost every politician in the country knows what I know. All the leaders of the big banks know what I know. And they're lying to us.
Maybe there's only one thing to do. Just keep on doing what makes sense to each of us. Wrong or right, it makes no difference anymore. But do it knowing the truth. Making this documentary made sense to me. I had to tell people about the malpractice they were being subjected to.
she's gonna get you. Mother Nature, she's grown to hate you, and she's gonna get you. Gonna get you, you betcha. You betcha. She bats last and she's coming out swinging. She bats last and she's just about taking all that she can take. And it's payback time. It's payback time. I said it's payback time. It's payback time.
Every year of my life, that's almost 52 years so far, the world has become a worse and worse place. Every year we have polluted more water than the year before. Every year there's been less clean air than there was the year before that. Every year there are fewer species on the planet than the year before that. We're driving 200 species a day to extinction. We're about to see that turn around. The living planet is about to make a comeback. And that's really, really good news.
She bats last and she's coming out swinging. She bats last and she's just about taking all that she can take. And it's payback time. It's payback time. I said it's payback time. It's payback time. For the strip mine land, for the poison seas, for the acid rain, for another dead species, for GMO, for uranium ore, for screwing your kids for a few dollars more. Now it's payback time. It's payback time.
Touchdown for a moment on your shore. You never know that truth can be so close, but then it's everything and suddenly you know, and everything's so cold and no one wants to hear it. No one wants to get near it. No one wants to be alive. This other life, this other way of living, this other depth, this balanced sense of giving. And truth I've tried. Truth I've tried. I've tried to be your eyes. Tried to be your eyes.